Hey, Keith here, KG's Garage. Thanks for coming back. And what I'm working on today is radio on this 2008 HHR. Let's go inside and look. There's already a radio in there. I put it in there a while back. When I put the radio in, I didn't hook up the steering wheel controls or the chimes. When you put a new aftermarket radio in, you lose the chimes, like the door opens, and not such a big deal about the door opening, but the turn signals and the hazards, you don't hear that clicking noise anymore, because that runs through the radio. So the new radio, the aftermarket ones, they usually don't have it. So what I bought was, like I said, the steering wheel control stuff. So I got the ASWC-1. This is for steering wheel controls. That is this little box, and then there's no number on this. There we go. GMOS-LAN-04 retains OnStar, and it also does the chimes and all that kind of stuff. That is this box here, and I think there must be like there's a speaker in here, I think, and it makes a noise. I don't know. So there's a bunch of wires you have to hook up to do this thing. And here are all your wires. There's a relay for some reason. See, so I have to take I have to take the radio back out and see what these connect to. I think these connect to the stock wiring harness, which I already did stuff too because I put the radio in. So there's going to be some rewiring I have to do because I think I soldered everything on this radio, so it's gonna be kind of a pain in the neck. I don't think I'm gonna go back and resolder it. I'll probably just use some crimp connectors. I think that will be fine. But I gotta take the radio out and see what we got. Also, while I'm in there, dash cam. Then I'm gonna stick somewhere up over here somewhere. I don't know. It will. I think it will record like a regular dash cam, so that's gonna be kind of cool. So let me get something, take the radio out, and see what we got for wiring. I'm gonna get the radio out, see what wires are in there. I looked at the wiring last night, and it was a lot of hooking speakers up, and then you got power and stuff like that. So it shouldn't be that difficult. The issue is that I already have the radio hooked up. I should have hooked all this stuff up when I had the radio out and did it all at once. It would have been it probably would have been a lot cleaner and a lot neater. Hopefully I can make it still look neat. I don't know if I said this before, but the reason why I didn't do it in the first place was because I didn't think it was going to be a big deal not having the chimes and everything like that, the blinkers. But I'll be driving around and my blinker will be on, and I won't remember that it's on because it's not making the noise. And then I'm like, oh, the steering wheel controls. I don't really care about the steering wheel controls, but I didn't realize how much I used them in the past. And I went to, I'm driving, I went to use it. My God, it doesn't work. My suggestion is, if you ever gonna put an aftermarket radio in the HHR, go ahead and get these two kits, get the steering wheel control, and get the buzzer noises back on, because I think you're gonna miss them. All right, let me show you what we got going on here. You got the radio, the back of the radio. Here's everything nicely soldered. So this is the wiring harness kit. I bought this adapter and wired it all, right? It's strange I did that red one. There's no way to disconnect it. Anyway, I don't know what these things are over here. Oh, GPS. Oh, there's a separate GPS thing. There's a little GPS module. And what's this other one? I don't know. Anyway, so that's the radio harness. Okay, so now here's the new stuff where the interface goes, and just like I thought, these connect to the original connector. So this is from the car, and this other one's from the car. So these two are from the car, original OEM, and you have these connectors that come with your kit. interface, and they just snap in. It's hard to do with one hand, and they just snap in. So anyway, basically what I'm getting at is I need to cut all this wire and redo it and connect it to here. So actually I can do this out of the car. If I just cut all these dumb wires here, cut all this, I can pull this out of the radio. This piece out here, just pull this out, that whole harness, and go do this inside. I just gotta make sure. Yeah, I guess this is fine, because I know at the time I went through all this to make sure everything went to the right place. Okay, so now I have the wire and harness completely disconnected. I put some connectors here on the two wires I cut, because these just go right to power. This goes to the, this doesn't go to power. But what I did do was I made them so they only go in one way. So you have the male section will go into here for the camera, and for the accessory you got the male section goes in this way, and then the male one goes in there. And when I put the radio back together, I'm going to take some tape and I'll tape around this so it doesn't move around. It shouldn't. It's a very good tight seal when you close these together. I'll put some tape around it and shove it back in there, so if I ever have to take this out again and I need to do anything with this wiring harness, it can just disconnect. Everything just disconnects, and then you'll have your wiring harness. So this end here is actually going to be the end that has for the interfaces, right? And all this will be attached. So I'm going to take all this out, these two wire harnesses, and make it into one. And all it is, I'm just going to cut this one, match it up to whatever it has to go onto here, and just keep going until I have all the wires done. The only thing I need to figure out is there's obviously this antenna wire. It's called wheel key 1 and wheel key 2. I don't know. I got to find the book for this radio and figure out what that is. It's for the steering wheel. I just don't know what 1 and 2 means. So it also has a little diagram on the back of the radio, and it just says steering wheel 1 and 2. So I don't know which one I need to hook up, because if you look at this harness here, there's only one. So I don't know. I got to figure that out. I think I get rid of this harness. This harness came with the steering wheel controls, so I think I get rid of that. And then when I go to put the camera in, I'm going to run it through here, under the dash, up this way, through this pillar, over here, and have the wires come out. Have the wires come out over here somewhere. Put the dash cam maybe here, I don't know, somewhere over here. I'm also, while doing that, we'll have some stuff apart. The antennas, there's a Wi-Fi antenna. Oh, this is the GPS. There's a GPS antenna, and somewhere there's a Wi-Fi antenna. There we go. And there's a Wi-Fi antenna. I'm just gonna stick those up here somewhere too, inside. Before I just had them shoved in here, and it works fine. If I run them up there, up higher and closer to the glass, I'll probably get a better signal. All right, well, let me go start cutting and matching up some wires. And I'm not going to solder them again. I'm just going to use connectors and just crimp them all together. I'm not going through all the soldering. Look at this. I mean, I soldered and shrunk wrap every one of them. So it took me a long time to do all this. I don't have that much time right now. All right, let me show you what I have here somewhere. All right. This is the old aftermarket wiring harness that would go into the factory harness. That's all cut out. Don't need that anymore. Like I said, these two connectors replace that. Then you have all this mess. the OnStar and Chimes box. Then you have the steering wheel control box, and you have all the wires. So this is all a self-contained wiring harness. This here came with the steering wheel controls. Not you don't use it if you're doing the Chimes, because the Chimes came with one. That's this wire. This wires here. These wires here. So this is all contained. This is all one deal. To hook it into the car, I'll show you in a minute. But you hook this in, this, and then there's a power, and then power. That's it. Hook that in. It's in the car. So the only thing I want to do is I want to clean up these. I want to clean up these connections a little bit, or this wire. I want to make it look a little bit neater. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the car. Let's see if everything works, because I would hate to get it all nice and neat and where I want it, and then I got to cut it again. So let me go put it in the car and see what we got. Oh, and also there's supposed to be some programming that you have to do with this box and with this box. There's some instructions here, and it tells you how to program these things. You have to like take this apart, turn a dip switch or something. I don't know. Okay, well, the radio's working. Sound comes out of it. And when I hit the blinkers now, left blinker, right blinker. I can't do the hazards because I don't have the button in there. But what happens is this relay right here clicks. And if I can get it to get stuck to something, I'll make it louder. So I guess I'll zip tie it to something inside here. So I'll make a loud noise. Once it's in there, I won't even hear it. And also, I don't know how to make the chimes go off. It did it earlier. Oh, here we go. There you go. It never used to do this banging noise. So it's doing that noise too. And that's coming over the speakers. Steering wheels control don't work. And you know what? I wonder if OnStar.
Hello and welcome to OnStar. Oh. For a demonstration of OnStar services or to contact an OnStar advisor, please press the blue OnStar button again.
And let's turn it
off. For
off.
complete instructions on how to use the OnStar service, including OnStar.
No.
Connecting to OnStar.
No, hang up.
Your OnStar call has ended.
Welcome to OnStar Personal Calling.
All right, well.
To make phone calls,
that's fixed.
Simple commands like
dial,
off, call, and store. Listen to this example.
Thank you.
Okay, there we go. I don't use OnStar. And it's binging. All right, so all the bings and bops and OnStar voice thing works. I just have to get the steering wheel thing to work. In the instructions, it says you have to, like, there's the dip switches and stuff like that to fix. So I got to look at the instructions, and now I can figure that out and see if I can get the steering wheel controls working. Let me tell you where we're at. Took these side panels off. Got the airbag right here, so I'm staying away from that. And I'm running the wire for the front camera. This is right here. There it is, hanging here. I'm gonna put it probably underneath the mirror, like right over here. So the wire's gonna come up, go here, go through here, whoop, goes down this way, comes out here, and behind into the radio. And then we got the Wi-Fi and the GPS. The Wi-Fi I'm just gonna shove back in the dash. I was thinking about it more, and usually the Wi-Fi I'm using my cell phone, which is in the vehicle, so it doesn't matter where I put it. I don't have to put it up high. I'm not trying to get Wi-Fi out of Starbucks or something like that. So I think I'm just gonna throw the Wi-Fi one in there. GPS one, I'm gonna run the wire, same deal. Come out, and I'll probably maybe stick it right here somewhere. It already gets a good GPS signal, but I figured why not. And then all the wires, I couldn't get the steering wheel controls set up, and I've given up. I don't really care about the steering wheel controls. It was just a nice to have feature. This radio is right there. I can touch it. It's not a big deal. So if that part doesn't work, whatever. Yeah, I spent the money on the module, but right now I don't care. I want to get all this mess put back together. So I started to I zip tied all the wires, trying to make it as neat as possible. Once I get the radio closer, I'm going to zip tie this to something, so maybe it'll make a little bit of better noise. And that's it right now. So I got to crawl into the dash and run the wires. All right. So here's an update. I have the front camera dash cam working. I have it mounted here right underneath the mirror, so when I'm sitting here, I can't even see this thing. So the wire goes up here on the headliner, down here. This here is the GPS. Okay, wire goes down here, goes down there, goes under the dash, comes up, and it's short. It stopped right here, and I found I had in my stash of stuff a little USB extender. So what is this, like a 12-inch extender? Plug it in here, and then I plugged it into the back of the radio. So now I got enough to play with there. So there you go. So now that works. The chimes and the bings and bumps, all that stuff works. The only thing that doesn't work is the steering wheel controls. These guys, when I hit the button, the little box, the green light goes on the box. So it's sensing that the button's being pressed, but it's not working. And to tell you the truth, I'm not really that concerned about that. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put all this back together, put all this underneath, put this piece back on, pull all this radio back in together, because I'm pretty much done everything. Here you go. It's all put back together. It just pretty much snaps all together. There's a million videos if you want to see how this stuff comes apart. You know, there's a bunch of screws. There's these little screws here, 2 to hold the radio in, 2 to hold this in. There's screws down here to hold this in. Anyway, that's how the center dash comes out. So everything's working. Radio comes on. The bing and bombs work. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. Hope maybe you learned something. If you want to put these kits in your car, put an aftermarket radio and retain all the stuff. I'll put links in the description below to the kits I use. They're Axxess kits. The radio, I could put it's an Eon radio with an Eon dash cam. The only thing with the dash cam is left I have to do is, it's saying there's no storage for the videos, so I have to put a card in here. You pull this out, and there's a little slot for a micro SD card. So I need to put an SD card in there. So it has memory, so it can record, you know, do the DVR stuff. But that's it. You can see all the panels are back in over here. You can just see that right there for the GPS. And like I said, you can't see sitting here. This is where I would look. You can't see the camera at all. So just like I wanted. Well, anyway. Thanks a lot for watching. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button below. I'd appreciate it. And if you have any questions or anything like that, I do my very best to answer all of the comments below. I try to go through and answer everything, even if it's, you know, a hard question. I'll even go do research and I find links and stuff like that. So, you know, I'll do my very best to answer any comments down there. And I want to say thanks again, and please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.